Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to episode, what are we on these days? 20, 17, 18 of Wirecast Live. I always forget to look at the episode number before we go live. That's my fault. Okay, episode 17. What's new in Wirecast 7.1? I'm Andrew Haley. Today's Thursday, September 1st, 2:30 p.m. Pacific time. We're in lovely California, broadcasting to you live on Facebook. All of these episodes are posted also on our YouTube channel at Wirecast Tube on YouTube, Wirecast Tube, and you can find all of our previous episodes there as well as a lot more content. So check it out. Highly recommend you do that. Let's see. So Wirecast 7.1. What is new in 7.1? Well, I'm glad you asked that. There's a lot to cover. A lot of new things. 7.1 has been being worked on for almost a month and a half, maybe a little longer. So there's quite a bit that we've packed in there. And so let's spend a little time unpacking. For those of you who love streaming to Facebook like we are and are doing right now, this is the release for you. You definitely want to update to this as soon as you get a chance. The reason being, we have improved our integration with the Facebook Live API. So now you not only can stream to your profile and your pages like you did before, but we've also added groups and events. So you can stream now to your profile, your pages, or any pages that you manage. You can stream to any groups that you participate to, or any events that you control or have the ability to. So you now got 4 different types of categories or pages on Facebook that you can stream to and stream live to. So take advantage of that. Why don't I just show you how that works? I'm actually streaming right now. I'm going to turn that off. We're going to jump onto my desktop, head up to the output settings. On the surface, real quick though, nothing has significantly changed, but you will notice an extra shot down here when you open a new document, and I'll talk about that in a second. But let's focus for now on the Facebook integration. So once you have authenticated to your Facebook account and you've logged in, created your event title, you then get to choose from these categories: your pages, groups, or events. So if you this profile actually doesn't belong to any current groups, and it's not actually on any event. So I don't really have anything to show you, but they should pop up there, and you can easily select which one you want to. So if you've got a party coming up or a special promotion or something like that, then definitely take advantage of that. Now, in addition to those types of things, you've also got this cool other checkboxes, which we're going to get into. So you might also notice this right here. This is your place. So if you are streaming to a profile or to a page that you own, then this place tagging or geotagging comes into play. It doesn't, to my knowledge, it may also for groups and events, but because I don't actually have any here, I'm not going to be able to tell you for sure on that. Once you, though, have a valid place to stream to, you can then choose where you want to stream from. So we are in Nevada City, California, but there's a lot of other really fun places. It turns out you can not only broadcast from physical locations, but you can also broadcast from emotional locations. So I found a few favorites playing around with this today. So why don't you just type in, how about this, Love City. You can broadcast from Love City. Now, there may actually be a real Love City, but for example, I'm not sure there's a Love Me Once and I Will Love You Forever from Nepal. You've also got what's another good one you could do? Let's see. Love Is Not Fake. This is one of my favorites. Love is not fake. Lovers are fake. City. So that's another one. Another good one I found was I Didn't Leave You. If you start to miss me, remember, I didn't leave you. You Let Me Go from 27393 Dane Street, Mansfield, Massachusetts. So that's another one. There's a lot of different locations you can stream from. So just maybe you aren't streaming from a physical place today. Maybe you're streaming from an emotional location. Keep that in mind, but lots of fun there. Why would you want to say have your physical location broadcasting from, right? So I'm gonna hit refresh here, hit OK, hit create. All right, so once you're streaming, what is the advantage of having a place tag? Well, there's quite a few advantages, but the number one advantage is being able to appear on the live map. Now, it's not a guarantee that your broadcast is going to appear on the live map. The live map there's too many streams going on Facebook at any given time for them to keep track of every single live stream on a single map. It would just be, I think, overwhelming. So the live map has its own rules and its own laws as to who will appear on maybe different live maps or different for different people around the world. It may not just be one map that everybody's seeing. It could be different variations. So the live map that you're seeing may not be the same live map that other people are seeing. But regardless, there's no way you could appear on this map unless you first had a place associated with your live stream or a geotag. So that's what gets you in the door on this. And then you can go cruise around and other people can, in theory, find your broadcasts. So right now we've got this cool stream coming in from Florida of the coast, and it kind of shows what's going on there with Hurricane Hermine. So I'm going to put on my headphones here so we can listen to this. So pretty cool. Now, if you haven't checked this out, I highly recommend spending a little time with this. This is kind of like Google Earth, but for live video. So just cruising around and hovering over a dot
nutrition certification training that when you look
will let you peek in on any of these streams, and you can also get a real-time preview if your bandwidth's good or their bandwidth's good, and you can see what's going on in different parts of the world. Your body is so mellow because you're now, of course, there may be content that may be inappropriate, or so obviously proceed at your own risk. But one of the nice things about this is you actually get a map of who's watching. So you can see everybody. The larger the dot, the more people are watching. So if this one on in Maine, it looks like, or possibly even further north up in Canada, Newfoundland or so, you can actually see all the connected lines across the rest of the map and to who's watching. So it's a very cool way to get an idea of who's live at any given moment.
Practice and in pregame settings. There's no question about it, and this is something people don't think about, John, but when you extend that leg on a punt, you're as vulnerable as you're going to be. You come down.
I love I love this map. So you just never know what you're going to find. You've got news stations broadcasting. You've got individual people with their shirts off wandering around with their phones. You just don't know. But it's a complete slice of life at every moment. So check it out. This is obviously not limited to the United States. You can peek in all over the world where people have access to network and can stream from. And you can really kind of tour around the world, see what's going on with your fellow humans, your fellow mankind. So that is geotagging, and that's what it does. Is it allows you to get on the map. All right, but a geotag is not a guarantee that you'll necessarily get on the map at any given time. That is the secret sauce that Facebook determines. All right, so let's talk a little bit more about outputs and what's new in the Facebook output. So you may have also noticed this other checkbox down here. So we talked about your profiles, what you can stream to, you can set your privacy. That's all always been the same, the geotagging. But coming down here, you've got this option to select regular or continuous. So regular streams are limited to 4 hours of streaming. Currently, that has gone up. So you may notice that when it first started, it was like 90 minutes. So now they're up to 4 hours, which is great. And they will record and archive that stream, and so people can find it in your video section of your Facebook page. Now, beyond that, though, that was your limit. You get cut off at that point. You have to restart the stream at that point. Some people want a continuous stream. You might be streaming like a bird nest or your backyard or a nature preserve or who knows, just some sort of like a traffic cam. Whatever it is, it's just constant. And you want to be able to stream without any interruptions so people can just tune in and watch whenever they want. But none of that's going to get recorded. There is no archive. There's no videos because it never ends. It's just a continuous stream. That is what this does. It turns off the recording. It turns off the limits. But, and it turns it into a continuous stream. It tells the Facebook servers that they shouldn't save any of the video or anything. It's just going to just keep going in perpetuity. So that is for a continuous stream. So now you have that option as well. All right, if you guys have questions about anything I just showed you, I'm going to launch this real fast. And so I can check the comments here, make sure that I'm not missing anything. Hold on. There we go. Might get a little feedback here until I mute it. Okay. Rob, welcome. Jonathan, welcome. Hola. I have wires everywhere. Please add NDI soon. Kevin, we're working on it. Definitely. I feel your pain on that. We'll be doing a studio tour at some point here, and you'll see it's just, you're right, wires everywhere. Valentine, welcome back. Good to see you. All right, so that is the Facebook integration for 7.1. I'd say that's the gist of what's new there, and definitely take advantage of geotagging and continuous streaming when and where needed, and then check out the live map for fun and enjoyment. All right, what else have we added? Oh, the audio mixer. This is cool. So we've added effects to the audio mixer. So remember in Wirecast 7, we added this new, or we redesigned the audio mixer. This is all brand new. So if you had audio coming in and you wanted to add a source here, let's say we bring in our, let's bring in the the Logitech. We'll bring in the Plantronic audio. So back to the audio mixing window. Let me take this live and jump back in. All right, so we've got the audio mixer source here, and I'm not actually listening to this audio at the moment, but I could do that with, we could do the USB out. All right, you might get a little bit of an echo here, depending. And then let's grab the device itself. Okay, so this microphone has been added, so I'm going to throw that on. You're going to get a little bit of an echo, but you'll hear what I hear. So when it's been added, let's just mute that for the moment. When it's been added, you can now have these really cool effects that you can add up here in the mixer itself. So let's zoom in and take a peek at them. So first of all, you still have your ability to delay audio sources, all that, but this is all new, this effects area. So add, for example, you could add a limiter or a DS. Let's try that. So Deborah Lee, this is one of those cool things we can do now.
So should I try it on you now?
Well, maybe you want to try it on me. Hold on. We're going to try it on myself first with this new one. So we're going to do, turn this back on. Here's the S. Click the gear button. And now, so you can really DS things if you want to do that.
We needed it yesterday.
Yeah, we did need it yesterday. We can also do a limiter. So if you can take down volume levels if something's too loud, change the output max and so forth, what gets cut and when it gets released and so forth. A lot of this stuff, I'm not an expert and I'm not an audio engineer, but those of you who do know what you're doing are going to have some tools at your disposal. Now, with these these new filters, I believe this is a Pro feature only. All this stuff's getting added to Wirecast Pro. So if you want access to these cool filters and effects things, then that's where you're going to need to upgrade to Wirecast Pro. You of course can try them out in the studio version. I mean, sorry, in the free demo, but you will get a watermark when you're broadcasting. And then, so it might be worth it to just play around with this a little more and see what else fun things you can do if you need that processing power. It's very cool. I think I will spend some time after this broadcast messing around with it a little bit just to get a feel. The best thing to do is just get some noise in there and start moving the sliders around, see what kind of results you can get, and you'll get a better handle on how each one works. Okay, so if you want to actually remove, you can click on them, hit the remove button, and they're all done. And there you go. That is new in Wirecast 7.1. What else have we added? We've added Magewell capture card integration. So this is cool. If you, obviously we work with Magewells. I've got a Magewell plugged into this demo machine right here. So this XI100 HDMI comes in right there. And I need to make sure it's the right format there. But that's because these particular cards are currently just coming in through the generic Apple UBC drivers, the universal drivers for USB and so forth, and audio and video frameworks. But if you head over to, I think it's, let's go to magewell.com, you head to the download section, and you download the drivers. If you have a Magewell card, then we're going to take better advantage and have native integration with their SDKs. So you'll see more settings available for these cards and just a tighter integration. Similar to what we do with Blackmagic cards. This just cements Wirecast's relationship with your Magewell card better than just using the generic. So you'll get more control over the cards. I'm not going to download and install that now because it may require a restart. So, but again, something to check out when you have time, if that card, or if that applies to you, if you're one of those card users. All right, let's jump back to my notes here. We added the Hitbox TV destination, hitbox.tv as a destination. So back under our output settings here, you can find Hitbox, which is probably right there. Let me zoom in here. There we go. I don't currently have a Hitbox account, but I think from what I understand, this is more of a gaming destination. And you can head over to hitbox.tv if you want to set up an account with them, similar to a Twitch or YouTube Gaming. And they can take advantage of most of our software encoding presets as well as our hardware encoding presets. This is a good one too. This is something that I had to talk about, I think, on a previous episode, where we had this thing. I'm going to take me out of the screen there. We had this thing where when you added a title or a graphic, I'm just going to add the ocean title here. When you added a graphic or a title and you changed, this is text. Okay. And you had this thing where, delete those. Take it into the live window, where text is basically live. So if I'm changing the text here, it's going to change, if I change my mind, it's going to change in both the live and the preview windows. So that's just a little different maybe than what you might have been used to in previous versions of Wirecast. Now, the same thing was true, however, if you duplicated the shot. Before, if you duplicated the shot and I changed this text in here, it would change in both. And that was new in Wirecast 7. And it was because text is universal now. So copying this text really just, it's the same text. And, if I move one, if I change the actual content of the text, then it's going to change the content of the text in both shots. But now we've added what's called a deep copy. So if I duplicate one, these are just the way they used to be in Wirecast 6 and before. They are not the same text box anymore. They're considered two separate text sources. So this time, if I change this one back to text, I've actually got two text boxes here, just the way you might have been used to before. So it's a lot simpler to remember. When you're duplicating shots, you're not actually taking the same text from each one. You've now got separate text every time you duplicate. So we've restored the way it was intended to be. So hopefully you'll find that a lot easier to use. And that came out of a lot of requests and usability features that people were asking for, because 7 had changed it quite a bit from the way they were used to working before. When you Wirecast 6 and earlier, you duplicate a shot, you could start changing the text and it wouldn't mess with the text in the previous shots. So that is great as well. We've also added a shortcut to open the folder where recordings are saved. And I actually don't know where that is. I'll have to ask our team where that is. That is one I didn't know about. So I don't know if we just try recording here. Let's remove that. Record to MP4, hit OK. We're going to record on the desktop. Okay. Hit OK and just hit record. And let's see. I wonder where they may have added that. As you can tell, we're pretty informal here on this show. So kind of figuring some of this stuff out as I go along. No pre-rehearsal, no practice, just dive right in. That's my name. That's what we do here. Huh. Okay, well, I'll have to ask them where that is, because I don't know. It's news to me that shortcut is there. But pretty cool. Maybe if we head back to the output settings, might be in there. Okay, well, I'm sure it's somewhere, because it says in the notes that they did that. All right, we also added keyboard shortcuts to switch to the clear layers. So if you do Alt 1 through 5 for each master layer. So check this out. So if you want to blank out, we've got this guy here. And I'm going to take this one up on layer 1. Throw that on there. And we do Alt 1 or Option 1. Boom. Clear. You no longer have to create a new shot like this and assign its own keyboard shortcut. Now, it sounds like you can't assign them your own. It has to be Option 1, Option 2. So, and there doesn't seem to be a way to easily do all of them at the same time. So if you just hit a 1 and it blanks all of them out. So you may still want to do it doesn't take too much work to just run through, hold your Option key and go 1, hold on. 1, 2, 3, it's not that tough. But, you do have to hit multiple keys. It may, if you're working quickly, you may still want to add a new shot. There it is. And assign it a keyboard shortcut like a 1. Actually, I kind of like the 0, because then you kind of know that you're zeroing things out. And then you can do the same thing. We can duplicate that. Throw that guy down there. Same thing, 0. This one already has that, 0. And now if we've got these guys all live, and I hit 0, Yeah, it's supposed to work. Probably because I was on different layers here. Hold on. Okay. Now if I hit 0, it's still not working. I don't know why that's not working. That should work. Odd that that's not working. In any case, if you can get that working, that would be a little faster. You in theory could just hit one key, tap one key on your keyboard, and then just blank everything out with a single keystroke. That seems to be working now. Let's try this again. This guy, this guy, this guy, that guy. Maybe they need to go live first. Oh, you know what's interesting about that is, so it worked on the original, but it didn't work on the duplicate. Isn't that strange? So if we add the new shot and now do a 0 there, and let's make this one 1 and this one 1. Okay, let's punch up 1. It's almost like the middle layer there is just, or layer 2 is having a weird time of it. Let's take that back. It's working great on the top layer. It's not working so hot on our lower layer. Really strange. Okay. Well, I'll need to figure out why that's going on. Very interesting. All right. Well, if you're having problems with keyboard shortcuts like I am right now, let me know. Or email or text us or whatever. Not text, chat or tweet us or submit a case online and let me know, because I would like to make sure keyboard shortcuts are working pretty flawlessly, and because I do see them as a critical piece for people's workflows. So if you're finding a way that you can consistently break them, we definitely want to know so we can fix that. In the meantime, Option or Alt 1, 2, 3, 4 seem to be working very nicely, and it's a great way to select a clear layer on that particular layer. All right, you guys, there's a lot more that we've done. We've improved stuff in the logic and scaling. We've addressed performance issues with direct show cameras, so you should see better performance issues if you have cameras like webcams coming in directly. We've also fixed ISO recording stuff and enabled, if you have Matrox VS4 cards, to be used with ISO or the native ISO rather than having to use your own. And a lot of other stuff. The smooth transition was not applying to volume remaps. I noticed that as well. So for some reason, when you had a smooth, it was not always applying correctly in some cases. And then unicast and multicast streaming there's some enhancements or fixes made there as well. So there's lots more. You can check the release notes for all the details. If you go to the update page, you check, if you go to your preferences and you click on, check software update, check now, you'll see a new version is available. That'll take you to an upgrade page, and there you can download release notes and download the latest 7.1. All right, if there's any questions or comments about 7.1, please leave them. Rhonda, how to set up remote desktop? Well, remote desktop's pretty simple. The way I do that is, first of all, you need to make sure you're on the network. Then head over to Google and just type download remote desktop presenter, or just remote desktop presenter will get you there too. Then you'll find one of the first download pages kind of after the sponsored stuff. You'll find Telestream, dynamic.telestream. This will take you to our desktop presenter download page. Select whether you want to download for Mac or Windows. I'm going to download now. It's about 32 megs. And now open that up and launch it. You can drag it to your, if you have applications or whatever, you can drag it in there. Okay, you can launch it. I'm just going to launch it from the image here rather than my applications for the moment. And that's going to pop up. No, I don't want to install the audio driver at the moment. Okay, that's going to pop up the little applet here. And this, by the way, you need to assume is going to be done on your remote computer, not your Wirecast computer. The only reason to do this or use this applet is if you're on a second computer on your network that you want to bring into Wirecast. So anyway, this is going to broadcast the TCP IP address of the computer. You're going to take this, and if it's not already announcing itself on the network to your Wirecast, then you'll need to enter this address manually. You also can choose whether you're capturing the full screen or whether you're capturing a window and so forth. So in our case, we're just going to capture the full screen here. You can also choose whether to capture audio or not. We're not going to right now. I'm going to throw that up there, and let's open Wirecast here. And then on your Wirecast computer, head over to that computer and add the remote desktop presenter option here. Click that. That'll launch the configuration window. And there it is. It should auto-populate with the computer's name. They should usually find each other automatically on the network. If they don't, then you'll need to manually enter the IP address right here. Okay, but the app will tell you what that is. If you're doing it manually, it's still not working. They can't find each other. They're probably on different subnets or different networks, so you need to double check that. Or there might be a firewall issue or something like that, or a port forwarding, something of that kind, that nature. Hit OK, and then through the network, the desktop will show up. This is how it used to work. So noticeably, I'm actually getting my own desktop through remote desktop presenter locally. I don't recommend this for local capture. If you're going to do that, use the screen capture tool. This is what you should be using for native local screen captures. You'll get much better quality with this than you will with remote desktop presenter. Remote desktop presenter is really for network cameras. Now, all that aside, someone in the comments already talked about NDI, which is a technology that allows for video across the network, basically exactly what remote desktop presenter is doing here. And you can, that's going to come and completely blow remote desktop presenter out of the water, or we'll just build it right into remote desktop presenter. I don't know exactly how we'll integrate it yet, but at that point, it's going to change, and you'll get much higher quality across the network. For now, desktop presenter, remote desktop presenter does a pretty good job, but it's like compressed motion JPEG at 15, 20, 25 frames a second. It's not going to be full quality, and there may be a little bit of lag or latency. Not so with screen capture. That's all native, pulled directly from the graphics card within the computer. Get great quality, totally lossless. So that's great. Hope that answers your question there. Nick, Wirecast from GoPro Wi-Fi. Not yet. GoPro Wi-Fi is just for the GoPro app. And we're finding that the app is only getting like low quality 640 by 480 kind of stuff, not SD, not HD quality. Nan, I'm using the trial version of Wirecast as an encoder, and it is connected to Wowza. For some reason, you're not able to render the HLS URL provided by Wowza, and I'm quite positive the output settings on Wirecast are correct. So if you're having trouble viewing the HLS URL preview provided by Wowza, that's probably a Wowza question. Our support team would not be able to help you figure out why you can't get the HLS preview out of Wowza to work. You may want to, I assume the other previews are working. Something with your transmuxing's going wrong. Maybe Wowza needs a different setting or something from Wirecast, but Wowza would be the one to help you with that. Our Wirecast support team knows little about Wowza and is not going to be able to help you troubleshoot why a particular conversion is not happening through the transcoder there. They can help you with Wirecast settings, Wirecast encoding, and everything up to the point where it goes to Wowza. Once it gets to Wowza, that you're going to need Wowza support for that. Rob, you still having trouble seeing the stream? Hope that's working for you. Oh, you're watching on your phone. Okay. Well, that's okay. How's the weather out there in Maine, Rob? Doing well? You guys doing okay? What cards are best for studio grade multiple Skype calls? You know, I it's a good question. I think that that doesn't matter too much, Michael, in terms of the card type, because you need whatever you can get off of Wowza. Off of Skype. So if your machine can send you, it depends on how you're setting up the Skype call. If you're using something like a Skype box or Skype TX, they usually come with the card already built into that computer, so you get what that card provides you. In general, if you're pulling it directly from another computer or another computer screen, you want cards that can handle high resolution or high frame rate pulls from computer screens. So a Blackmagic 4K card, like a Intensity Pro 4K or something like that, which can handle 60i or 60p pulls from that computer, are going to be better. Cards with lower frame rates and lower resolutions are obviously going to have trouble pulling computer screens in. Epiphan cards are also great. They kind of specialize in pulling in computer frame rates. Magewell cards generally do pretty well with computers, and Blackmagic 4K cards and so forth. So that's where I would look first. That's good to hear, Rob. Yeah, first game streaming tomorrow. That's awesome. Football season's getting into full gear. We're doing something similar out here with our local high schools and getting them up and going in their football game streams. So I'm excited to see some football games this season. No worries, Michael. Any news on showing PowerPoint presentation screens? I know it's a Microsoft display issue, but is there any workaround? This is an interesting one because it happens to me a lot when I'm doing a PowerPoint. PowerPoint kind of takes over let's just open it. Kind of takes over the screen when you're in presentation mode. So if we open a recent here, here's one that I did recently for ScreenFlow. Let me open this. So here's a ScreenFlow PowerPoint I did, and what I find is when I want to capture this slide deck into Wirecast Live from the same computer, not have it take over my whole desktop, then I kind of need to set that in the PowerPoint settings. And so I go to the slideshow and I go to set up slideshow. Let me zoom in a little bit for you guys. I go to set up slideshow, and then that pulls open this window here. Jumped on my other monitor, and I usually choose the browse at a kiosk option, full screen, and then I typically will choose the advanced manual, hit OK there, and now when I go into play, it just takes over this one screen, and my other monitor is fine. So I can have one screen to go through the slides and the other to capture and use with Wirecast. So that's kind of where Let's try that again real fast. Need to go back to PowerPoint. Although for some reason the slide advances have not been working too hot for me recently. And that could be due to the manual thing. Hit OK. And that's how I set it up so it doesn't overtake. Of course, I'm missing my presenter notes and things like that. But honestly, if you need presenter notes and to be operating Wirecast and doing all of that at the same time on the same computer, you're probably trying to do too much on that machine. So you just need to show slides live as you go through them and have another screen available for Wirecast so you can kind of keep an eye on that and switch cameras as needed. That's really your best bet. Of course, the other option is to head into Wirecast and just leave the slide deck as is or about as large as you want it. Once you get it to approximately the correct size, you can then come in and screen grab just this window, screen capture just the window, and crop out the rest. And then use that as your slide deck. And then you can manually go through the slides that way. Now, you won't be doing animations and things like that, but I don't recommend animations when you're capturing that live into Wirecast because they just don't translate as well when coming that way into a live broadcast. Rhonda, we save all these videos for playback. You can find them all on our Facebook page here, archived. You can also find these videos at Wirecast Tube on YouTube. One word, Wirecast Tube. Sorry? There it is. The door's in my way. I can't see the... so right here, there it is, youtube.com/WirecastTube. So check that out. We usually post these videos. This one should be up by Monday or Tuesday. Monday's Labor Day, so probably by Tuesday for sure, if not before. And Deborah Lee, who's working behind the scenes in the studio, she's the awesome person behind that and has been doing a lot of that editing and turnaround for you guys. So send her a thank you when you get a chance. Nick, I've looked at 7.1. Is YouTube Live fully integrated? Yeah, YouTube Live's been fully integrated for a long time. So, I mean, there may be APIs that we haven't yet introduced. I wouldn't know what those are. If there's anything specific that you're hoping to do that's in the Live API for YouTube, please let us know. But yeah, that's been there for a long time. No problem, James. All right, did I miss anybody? Anybody's questions? Does that cover stuff for you guys? Hopefully, if you do have any more, just reach out to us, hashtag Wirecast or at Wirecast on Twitter, or find us at telestream.net and send us a support or sales question, and we can answer you that way as well. All right, have a wonderful Thursday, everybody. I hope this was helpful for 7.1 for our newest release of Wirecast, and I'm going to play a little bit more, try to see if I can find that shortcut to the recorded files in Wirecast, and I'm going to play with a little more with these keyboard shortcuts. And I will see you not next week. There's no show next week. Episode 18 will be on September 15th, 2 weeks from today. We're going to have a guest host again. Stephen Haywood is going to be stepping into the chair for that week, and he's got some exciting stuff to talk to you about. So tune back in 2 weeks. We will be taking a break next week, and then we'll be back in 2 weeks. Stephen will be there. And then there'll be one more week off. I have another trade show I'm doing in Louisville, and then I'll be back the following week, hopefully with a special guest. So lots coming down. September's going to be busy, so we're going to be doing a little bit of a reduced schedule for our Wirecast Live episodes, but you can always go back if you get lonely and check out the previous episodes. Lots of good stuff there. And I will see you guys at the end of September. I'll be back on the 29th. And meanwhile, don't miss that one from Steven on the 15th. It's got some very cool stuff to show you. All right. Keep streaming. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.